Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with me. I have Mish Schneider. She is the Director of Education and Trading and Research with Marketgauge. Mish, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me on, Michael. It's been a while since I've seen you, so it's a pleasure.
All right. Now, you've got a new book out, and I want you to show it to the audience and tell us all about it. What are you doing? There you go.
Okay, so the book is called Plant Your Money Tree, A Guide to Growing Your Wealth, and it was published by Rowman and Littlefield. It was released last week on Amazon. On May 8th was actual release date, and since then I've gone #1 new release in retirement planning, in business and finance, and in intro to investing, so that's really exciting. Plus, the book actually sold out on Amazon, so now it's available as of today on Kindle, and they are getting more books this week, so hopefully that situation clears up. But I've been very excited and very well received, so I'm very happy.
Congratulations. Tell us the gist of the book, and if there's anything in particular in the book that you think our viewing audience would find interesting, bring that out too.
Okay, well, the book is really a culmination of the years that I have done trading along with my special education background. So my goal was to be able to produce a book that would explain very obtuse and complex concepts as simply as possible. So hopefully I've been able to achieve that. And my reason for wanting to do that was that I really wanted this book to branch out, not just people who are already actively investing, but for the mainstream people who felt they never would be able to understand the makings of the market or the economy. And especially since it impacts them every day of their lives, whether they want to admit it or think about it. So that's really what this book covers. And so what I've done is I've developed what I like to call a navigation system, which is using those 6 phases that every instrument or the overall market goes through at some point. I identify what they are, how you can actually figure out the phase by a very simple chart like we learned in elementary school with 2 lines, and then what to do about it, not just in investing, but what to do about it in terms of sending your kids off for a college major, changing careers, buying a home, borrowing money, etc.
Okay. What is your, I know the whole book is great because you have a wealth of knowledge. I've seen you trade. You've been #1 trader and #1 market forecaster in a myriad of different time frames. And you've carried that accolade. You really have. I mean, I've seen you trade. So, and I've been doing it since 1980 myself. So I know a winner when I see one. You're definitely a winner. But inside that book, you've got some favorite part that you think everybody is going to take away, something that's going to improve their lives, improve their trading, and improve their legacy. Bring that out for me.
I think the #1 concept that I want people to walk away with is the knowledge of knowing that there is a way. When people have always thought that there is no way I'll ever get it, understand it, I tuck my 401ks in the garbage or in a file somewhere, or, you know, I really like, let's say, for example, just Tesla, first thing that comes to my mind, because I see more on the road. Maybe I should invest. Nah, I wouldn't know even where to start. The takeaway is people will finally have some foundational knowledge that will give them not only the ability to make a decision for themselves, but also the ability to ignore so much of the noise that's out there.
That's it. That's the point. Yes, thank you for bringing that out. All right, with that being said, you've got a myriad of indicators in a group of sectors that you work with to give you a forecast of what you think is going to happen next. Walk me through what you're looking at now and where you think the high points, the low points, the potholes and the mountains are, that where we need to go and focus our attention and our energy.
Well, and again, the book is exactly what I do every day. So it wasn't like I do one thing and then wrote something else. It's very consistent, mostly because that's what helps me. I mean, one of the things you were mentioning is actually won the award for the best stock pick on Real Vision last year, 2018, which was quite a coup considering that they interview some of the top people in the world in trading. And my methodology is really what I cover in the book. So with that said, I also, and this is what I think you're referring to, talk about my economic modern family. Although I don't call them that in this book, my daily blog talks about that a lot. So what that is really are these 6 sectors, and what I think to be the most influential in terms of not only predicting what the economy is going to do, but also tells you what phase the market is in these particular sectors, so we can see whether the market will go up or down.
Let's talk about some of the sectors. I mean, I was looking at Bitcoin. We've moved from 4,000 to 7,000. I think it pierced 8,000 today. The stock market has pulled back pretty hard recently. I know it bounced today, but I wanted to get your feeling of what's going on in the market now, what you think is going to happen next.
Okay, well, first of all, the Bitcoin thing, I think you and I had talked about this in the late December, October, November, December of 2018, that we were looking at Bitcoin going up. Of course, it's not so easy to trade, but nonetheless, that has actually happened. And a lot of the reason why that has happened is because of confusion in the market. So let's talk about the sectors and why the confusion is there. And then the confusion started even with that big rally we had last Friday. XRT is retail, brick and mortar retail. That's, I call granny retail. And that is an extremely important aspect of the US economy because retail actually makes up 70% of the gross domestic product. And so even though we've had low unemployment, we've had very flat wages, and with interest rates relatively low, what's happening is people are going further into debt because they're using their credit cards. And what's happening now is that a lot of the brick and mortar retail stores, after rallying, once the SPY, the S&P 500 and NASDAQ made new highs, retail didn't really budge. So right now, as of this weekend, with last week's final rally, when people thought that's it, the market's going straight up, doesn't care about tariffs or whatever, retail has been floundering, and that's an extremely important sector for people to watch. Again, that symbol would be XRT. It's in a bearish phase, so there's one of those phases on the daily charts. It's in a distribution phase, weekly charts. Neither one of those are good phases. And today, actually, May 14th, it had what we call an inside day, which means today's trading range was inside the trading range of yesterday. And as you know, yesterday was a very, very big down day. So even with the rally today, that could not break the highs from yesterday, nor did it break the lows. So we really want to keep our eyes on XRT. If tomorrow it breaks the range of the high from yesterday, good sign. If it breaks the range from the low of yesterday, not so good sign.
Got it. Next.
Okay, so the next one, there are 3 like that. So that these 3 to me are very telling, and then we can talk a little bit about the Russells because that's also extremely influential. So right now, the next one like that is biotechnology. Now, biotechnology, what's interesting about that is people are blaming the tariffs for the reason why the market is going down, but biotechnology has very little to do with the tariffs. Now, of course, there has been other political footballing with it, with opioids, etc., but nonetheless, it's in the exact same shape as retail. It's in a distribution phase on the weekly chart. It's in a bearish phase on the daily chart. It too had an inside day today. And when the rest of the market was rallying back last week, it did not follow. So that's number 2. Number 3 is regional banks, and that symbol is KRE. By the way, biotech symbol is IBB. Regional banks are also important because that's a measure, not banks like Citibank, Bank of America, but it's the measure of the regional statewide banks. So what it does is it tells you how healthy or not are the local communities in terms of what are they doing at the banks. Are they pulling money out to borrow to start businesses, buy homes, or are they basically not putting money in the bank because they're not getting very much in terms of the savings? That's floundering. Also, in a bearish phase on the daily, in a caution phase actually on the weekly, so it hasn't broken a 200-week moving average yet, and again today an inside day. So if you put those 3 together, IBB, XRT, and KRE, tomorrow, if you're watching this later today and you want to see what happens tomorrow, I would keep my eyes on those three sectors. And however that range breaks, that will pretty much tell you what the next move in the market is. With the negative phases, if I had to guess, I would say that it would be more to the downside, but that remains to be seen.
Got it. Mish, thanks for being a guest on today's show. I can't wait to have you on the show again.
Thank you very much. Can't wait to be back. And thank you again for letting me talk about my book. Here it is, guys. Plant Your Money Tree, A Guide to Wealth. Take care, Michael.
Okay. Bye, Mish.
Bye.
You've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.